And this is my pair of tiger rat snakes, or Spilotes pilatus, or in theory they're a pair anyway. I need to actually sex them. I've had them a couple of years and just had zero luck breeding them. They're kind of cool. They're sort of bastards though. These two are wild caught, which always makes it interesting, but one cool thing about these is how fast they eat. We'll see if we can get that on camera here. Like I said, these things eat like amazingly fast, which granted I don't give them large rodents. I give them several, 3 or 4 mice or a chick or something like that. And this, believe it or not, that female right there is over 7 feet long. They're just kind of thin, semi-arboreal snakes, so they can coil up in a pretty small spot, but she's a long snake. This one, they have, the male and the female are very different in how they eat. This one is a lot more gentle. You can usually get her to just kind of take it. You have to move it around for her a little, but and watch, once she gets the head in her mouth, watch how fast she can eat this thing. Sometimes when they strike it right on the head, it would already be gone. Look at that. It's amazing. Now let's try the male. He is much more difficult than her. Usually takes like kind of getting some defensive strikes out of him before he'll eat. And this is not where he usually lays either. Matter of fact, let me open this other door. Most of the time he hangs out up here. In my mind, I like to pretend he's been over here the last couple of weeks. I like to pretend it's because of some sort of mating behavior, but I don't think there is. He's kind of, like I said, difficult. You gotta get some defensive strikes from him, but this is not the easiest spot to get him to eat. It works better if you have him in a corner. Doesn't help that I'm trying to look at this camera at the same time. This is why, kids, you should always get captive bred if you can. I have, 30 something years of experience, but these things are still a pain in the ass. They've never really settled in. Which Spilotes are kind of a little bit of a nervous snake anyway, but it definitely makes a difference to have a captive bred one. And I've given these guys live as well, and to be honest, it really doesn't go much better. Sometimes it does. I don't think they're particularly hungry right now, the male especially. But I obviously prefer to give them frozen thawed. This male, usually you can get him to strike a little better, and once he bites, you just give that to her. And she'll eat. She's a better eater than him. You see, even she's a little spazzy sometimes. She'll get it though. Let's see if we can get her to get it by the head. She can swallow it like. No, not by the head, but if she had gotten it by the head, it would be swallowed by now. It's unbelievable how fast they can eat. And gone. Now, I guess she still has a tail, but mostly gone. Let's try spazzy male again. I think the female's going to come over here and get it from him. Oh, look at that. Watch how fast he eats. Look at that. Adult mouse gone. He's a little bit smaller than her, but he's probably over 6 feet. And that's a small mouse for such a big snake, but they don't like huge meals. I usually give them, try to give them 3 or 4 smaller mice at a time. Or I got some chicks over here too. Alright guys, let's get you another one. Sometimes if you get them to eat one, they'll eat the other one a little quicker. Hear him rattling his tail probably. These are not for people that want a snake to cuddle with and boop on the snoot or whatever. And these are a little bit more for people that like snake behaviors. There you go. They're really cool snakes, but like I said, these have been kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes they're a little bit difficult to feed, and zero breeding. Granted, like I said, they may not even be a pair, but I really haven't cared enough to sex them. You can see he's already eaten that, and I know all you people that have watched videos on YouTube are probably gonna tell me about cohabbing, but I don't really want to hear it. I probably know more than you. Some snakes is possible. You have to keep an eye on them during feeding time especially. But anyway, let's give them a chick. We'll give the female a chick first. She's less of a pain in the ass than him. Oh, get away from me, Strike. I'll watch her, she'll grab it. She's a better eater than him. Well, I say that, and then she didn't bite it. For some reason, they like to bite, try to eat from the wrong end. Snakes is smart, people. I'm just kidding. Snakes are not smart. At least not if you think of an intelligence in the way that you would think of intelligence with humans. That's a mistake. Now, if you want to see who can track a rodent through the trees using sensory organs, snakes are way smarter than any human. But If you want to see who can figure out which end of a chick is easiest to eat from, yeah, most humans are going to beat this girl. I've never really seen her do this. Normally she'll grab onto it and eat. There she goes. The male is a little more prone to doing stupid things like dropping chicks on the ground 3 or 4 times. She normally just gobbles it down. Anyway, let's give the male his. And that's their meal for you see, even the bigger chick they can eat like really fast. If that was your corn snake, it would still be trying to get his mouth around its head right now. Anyway, pretty cool. As you can see, Loki is aware that we're here now. Depending on the time of year, he's kind of a picky indigo, but this time of year he's not very picky usually. You can see, you gotta watch out. You see how they wrap their body over the animal to pin it down? They're not constrictors, but they'll grab it and then pin it with their body like he's doing right there. And basically just to hold it down while they kind of crush it and swallow it, which is you know, pretty cool. Different than most snakes. And he's taking his sweet time, so we're just going to throw this chick in there and he'll find it on his way back to his hole there. And here's my boa, who has never passed up a meal. He's a garbage disposal. In the process of upgrading him to a bigger home. This is going to be use this tank to house some hatchling crevos that should be coming soon. He lived in it for the first couple of years of his life. Anyway, he's not one to shy away from food. Killed it. And that's it. A couple of tortoises down there, a couple of lizards that I've already eaten, and I'm gonna go eat something myself.